I never grew up. I'm just not afraid of the darkness anymore. I use it as a canvas, allowing me to paint the ceiling with my fears and insecurities. There are monsters beneath my bed. There are arthritic bones that cling on everything else, including my knocked knees, but adulting means kneeling next to the bed, pray to the heavens whilst your legs are being severed. I still have imaginary friends, but we no longer play hide and seek on Sesame Street. We look at each other and ask who's depressed more. It's the Olympics of oppression. We cling on verity's lost cochlear nerve and see our daily sufferings. Throughout our daily tidings, we saw the stripes, which are pinky promises that we made with razor blades. The collective nooses that sit around our neck are engagement rings. Water is thicker than the blood we bleed. The viscosity found within our fluids, it gets heavier by the day, can only be relieved by making small cuts on our wrists, deep enough to cause a bleed, but shallow enough to prevent me from dying. But John taught me that one day these stripes will glow in the dark. He collects rain clouds and plasters them on my orbit. He siphones his cyclones and spares the iris because the eye of the storm is always peaceful. But I've watched the universe keep our conversations captive. The Milky Way is a milk carton composed of our decomposed sentences. Comatose bacterial species lingering on our short conversations, and they said we should never ever cry over spilled milk. So I collected the white liquid on the floor and hope that my heart is no longer lactose intolerant. But one day, Mother gave me a hiding. She claimed that I was talking alone. She didn't know that talking to your best friend feels like talking to yourself. Your voices merge like stars during quantum entanglement and they become one. I became John and John became me. We fused like atoms during a nuclear reaction. We spoke with the same frequencies, finished each other's sentences and understood, funny enough, the subtle sarcasm. But as the years passed by, our room started becoming tranquil. With John's attention slowly drowning in the tragic isolation, I met Eric when I was 50. Eric said, human beings should meditate with their eyes open. A soul is heavier when the windows are shut. A prayer becomes a caged bird trapped under the guise of obedience. Angels carry empty prayer past empty caskets because you never hit your target when your eyes are closed. So Eric said, we should open our eyes, unfold our arms, and make eye contact and speak to God. But I searched for God with the light switched off, the darkness holding my broken pieces together, me and Eric whispering incantations. He sometimes used my lungs to breathe as a courtesy. He claimed that in large amounts oxygen is toxic and fatal. So he split the diatomic element, stores it in his belly, challenges me to rip it open. Saying he took my breath away is only an understatement, but like John, Eric too disappeared beneath my teeth. He was drowned underneath my palate. So I would pray in tongues, whisper incantations, make holy pages accompanied by chariots of fire, hoping that Eric is frozen in time and my prayer is a flame that will set Eric free. But Eric never came back. Eric never came back. That's when I realized that loss is a privilege reserved for the strong. Although our souls are malleable, we pray that the empty goodbyes never break our spirits. So I prayed for all the friends that I lost, for all the empty spaces within my heart. I prayed for Eric, for John, for Syria, for Somalia, for Palestine. I prayed that God too sees me as Syria, as Iraq, as Palestine, a country that is ravaged by loss, an atomic explosion of disappearance. That's why I walk in the face of this earth with no limbs, because true friendship is the one that you give an arm for. Or maybe two arms, a leg, and another leg. I prayed. No, I'm lying. I bargained. I didn't grow up. I've just learned that maybe the concept of imaginary friends is a Western idea. Because coincidentally, all my friends happen to have white names, with English coming out of their mouth. That's why I learned how to speak with my mouth closed. I swallowed my tongue, tied my vocal cords to the Gordian knot. I didn't grow up. I've just learned that I'm heavier. My moods weighing me down. My mother waking me up instead of carrying me off the couch and to the bed. I didn't grow up. I've just learned how to play outside. And this time, with kids that also bleed. Thank you.